Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to And How Does That Make You Feel? My name is Stori. I'm so excited to have you all with me today. We have a very, very special episode. Dr. Hemlata, someone I've met when I was traveling to India, who introduced me to the concept of breathwork and actually did my first breathwork session with me. And we'll talk a little bit about my experience and how that went later on in the episode. Let me ask you a question. Have you heard the term, your body keeps a score? Probably, especially if you're watching this platform and are into the healing self-help spaces. It was a popular book by Bessel van der Kolk, and he wrote on this theory that our past experiences from childhood all the way up into adulthood, traumatic experiences are often stored within our body and can affect us not only physically but also mentally, influencing the way that we engage in life, the way we feel about ourselves, the way we feel about others, and again, physically, how that could aid in some ailments, joint problems. And it's a really interesting concept because it takes the extra step in our healing journey that we don't only need to talk about what has affected us and see the roots of our issues, but that we have to engage our body and release a lot of that pent up and stored up energy that could be that missing piece that we need to have this holistic experience when it comes to healing. Now, Bessel had recommended a variety of tools to engage the body as we heal. Some things like yoga, there's like NET practices. But what if I told you that there's another way to engage the body when it comes to that holistic healing, and that it doesn't take journaling or shadow work or herbs or crystals or anything else? All it takes is something that we have been born with, that was with us since we exited the womb, and that will be with us until we cross over on the other side. And that is our breath. Just us and our breath could be the key to releasing that stored up, pent up energy, those unwanted emotions, and impact our quality of life in the best of ways. I'm really excited to introduce to you Dr. Hemlata, who has had an amazing life. She was a colonel in the Indian Army for, I believe, 20 plus years. An amazing life story. And she'll talk about how breathwork, not only what it is, but how it has impacted her quality of life, how it has impacted her clients' quality of life. I'll talk about how it impacted my quality of life, but what it could do for you. Now, as a medical professional herself, she and I, because we love you so much and we would never want to jeopardize your health, we do want to make a disclaimer that before you make any changes to your health medically, please do consult your medical professional about whatever it is that you decide to implement into your life when it comes to healing. Let's get into it. Let's dive in. I'm so excited for you to meet Doctor, and I really do hope you enjoy. All right, welcome, Dr. Hemlata. It's so nice to have you here on the And How Does That Make You Feel podcast. The one person who introduced me to breathwork is here, who did my first session, and we'll get into breathwork in a minute. But one of the first questions that I had when you were talking about breathwork and the power of breath and how it can really be a powerful healing tool, you went into like all these things that you've done in your life, and my first question was like, who is she? How does she gain all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge? I was just so intrigued by your story. So before you get into that, I definitely want you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Like Stori said, I'm Dr. Hemlata, and I'm also a Lieutenant Colonel from the Indian Army. I retired about 23 years back. I worked for about 27, 28 years in the Indian Army. I'm a medical doctor, and obviously I have roamed the country, right from north to south.
You were just in Sri Lanka, weren't you?
Yes, I just went to Sri Lanka for a workshop on past life regression. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to have you on again, too. I want to know about that.
Of course. Of course. Well, that's my story till there. And maybe by the end of the career over there, I got interested in energy work. So, like everybody else, I think I started off with Reiki. Everyone starts with Reiki and then goes on to do pranic and color healing. And then I did a couple of diplomas in acupressure, Chinese acupressure. Then I think life kind of takes you around, backwards. And somewhere about 10, 11 years back, I was detected with breast cancer, which I suppose being a doctor shook the life out of me. And but to top it all, within a year I lost my husband, which I think was quite devastating for me.
Well, that
is when I lost myself. Yes, after the breast cancer surgery and everything. Wow. Yeah, within the year I lost him. That was quite shattering emotionally, and it brought me crashing down completely. It was a crisis, and I realized, though I am a doctor, and though I am an energy healer, and though I am an army officer supposed to be strong, I realized that my emotions, my self-confidence, and facing life, facing people, it was all in my ankles. It had gone that low, the whole thing. I couldn't even cross a road. I couldn't even sit in my car to drive. So I think the universe is so beautiful. The energy of the universe is fantastic. So I tried all my methodologies, but nothing worked on me. So, and instead of being a nuisance for the children, I thought I should do something about it. So I think the universe helped me, and breathwork came into my life. Along with that, my mentor in breathwork, my teacher, guru, Mr. Mahesh. Yes. So I was kind of pulled out of that abyss. It was like a black hole. The workshop was a retreat actually, about 5-6 days retreat. And I was surprised that in those 6 days, it changed me. And what we did in those 5-6 days was we were doing breath work, plus being trained to be a therapist for breath work. Okay. Yeah. And he took us through training, through like what we have the 5 elements, which I think everyone is aware of it. Mm-hmm. See, the whole world is made of 5 elements. So are we. So when we connect up with the elements, you start releasing. And I did release. I came back, I think about 60%, which I don't think any workshop can bring you back. Since I've done so many, I don't think any of them brings it back. So I came back 60%. I said, wow. And for me as a medical doctor, allopathic doctor, it was a wow. Because, we deal only with medicines, that kind of stuff, not much with energy. But this was purely energy. And when I came back, being a medical professional and seeing patients all my life, I thought, okay, if I can come out like this, there must be so many people who need it, who need to come out. And next day after the workshop, I started calling my friend, my people, everybody, come take a session from me, come take a session. And I think in 1 year, I gave sessions non-stop. 1 year, 365 days I gave. And you'll be surprised. Even I was surprised that when I'm giving. It is more fruitful and more satisfying to your soul than when you're receiving.
Right.
Yeah. I heard people, let me cleanse myself and then I'll give a session. I said, cleanse, no cleanse. I'm feeling good. Let's give.
Well, I did have a question. So you said, when your husband had passed, which I'm very sorry to hear, and that was like a moment for you, like a catalyst to you going into breathwork. You said that it went to your ankles and that you had tried a lot of stuff, a lot of remedies to absolve that. What were some of the things that you were trying to help?
For myself?
Yes, for yourself, with the issues that you were having in your ankles or in your,
See, for me, unlike very many allopathic doctors, I'm open. I'm open to energies. I'm open to something which is beyond the physical. And maybe I thought there should be something in the universe which will kind of put me back on track. Because whatever you say, I am a professional, so there's no way that I would like to just take a back seat and sit down and say, oh, nothing can happen. No, not at all. And especially my main, it's literally like I've been born a doctor. So the interest in life is to see how others can improve, how others can be better without, swallowing all those medicines. So when I saw these changes in myself, and believe me, that 1 year, whatever I gave, all of them had fantastic experiences in the breathwork. And of course, we have our retreats and we have our workshops in the Himalayas.
Right, yeah.
So I was really surprised that I could do it in the Himalayas at my age. I'll keep my age a secret till the end.
You can keep it a secret forever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yes, but I will share it because I would like to motivate people.
And so, as you were, practicing breathwork and being that practitioner for others, what were some of the things that you saw that changed within them, or that they came back and told you that, oh my gosh, this happened after? What were some of those things that you saw?
They would give me a feedback because a breathwork, it's a very intense session. It's a very intense session of breathing for an hour plus. They may not make it out immediately. Some could make it out there and then. But immediately after a session, you can see the change in their face, the change in the aura of their face. They look so fresh, as though they have released. And it stays on for some time, for a long time. The improvement, and then I tell them the changes are usually very subtle. Yeah. So just be a little aware of how you feel every day, how you react to people every day, how your relationships are going, how is your job going, or just observe as to there's so many things to an individual, right?
Yes.
So just keep whatever profession you are, you may be even a singer. You just observe when you're going into that or you're singing. Do you feel that little subtle change? Yes, and these changes are permanent. They are permanent.
So it's really like just an overall feeling of how the connections I have in life might get better, or how I interact with people or react to situations, that gets better. Yes. Or my mindset around something that used to like make me really upset. Now I'm like, oh, I can get over that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's like this overall quality of life, more so than like...
That's the word.
or it could also be maybe something physically gets better, but more so just the overall feeling that that person feels, it gets better.
And even one session, it's guaranteed that there are changes. There could be physical changes, emotional changes, psychological changes. So like you said, react. They won't react, they'll respond.
I love that.
They respond, yeah. And when they respond, the people to whom they're responding, they also respond in return. So you understand that energy?
The energy exchange. It's like I set the tone for that person to also come to where I am, my level. Oh, wow.
Yes. And if I suppose I react, then it's not a very pleasant thing, right?
Right.
Then they react too, and we don't know where the whole thing goes. So these kind of subtle changes, and you release certain unwanted emotions, and you also release certain traumas in your life. I mean, breathwork is a subject which just goes on and on and on, because I mean, breath is our life, right?
Yeah. The very thing we were born with since we exited the womb. It's really powerful. But I want to keep on that topic though of what you were saying, like releasing the trauma or releasing the unwanted emotions or releasing that energy. So you told me before our session about just the power breath and how it's a windmill. Can you go into that? Because that was really powerful.
Yeah. See, when we are born, it's there. Okay, so when it's not there, we are not there.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yes. But during the whole period of our life, we have the tendency to kind of take it for granted. Okay, I'm alive, I'm breathing. That's it. Because many people ask me, oh, you're a doctor, what do you do now? I tell them, I breathe. So, what? Oh, we also breathe. I said, no, I breathe differently. That's the difference. You become aware of your breath. You know the importance of your breath. You know the what all it can do for you. So what really happens is it kind of, we all don't breathe correctly. Right?
Yeah.
We don't breathe correctly. We have pauses. We have disturbances. You see a tiger, you pause.
Yeah. Breathe.
But if you breathe non-stop, if you see a tiger, your response will be calm and your fear will not show the tiger. No? It's a tiger. I'm not saying you won't be scared. We will be scared. Right. But it works the other way around. If you breathe continuously, your mind also calms down, your emotions. It corrects a lot like that. It corrects our breathing disturbances a lot. Correct. And you know, we have so much of cup energies in our system, which we all know. They get released during a breathwork session.
You talked about stuck energy, and the famous book, The Body Keeps the Score. And it says that, our past experiences, even traumatic events, kind of get stored in our body and affects our mind, affects us physiologically, physiologically. Yes. So is breathwork something that is used for that purpose of getting that stuck energy out of your body?
Yes. So a breathwork, see, the breath goes everywhere. And it's not that we have just one breath. We say breath. But we do have something which is called the 5 energies, 5 subtle breaths, which are distributed in the body. So one breath, each breath takes care of certain parts of our body. Okay? So those are very, very subtle energies. So when you're doing a breath work, so it starts working in those places which take care of maybe those chakras, those emotions, those psychological, all those. So the cleansing takes place through a breath work. because it is kind of a non-stop, continuous, connected breath. There's no time to think there. Because this fellow is a drunken fellow.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yeah.
You have to calm him down. Only your breath can do it. And the best part is, we detox, right? We have various detoxing, whatever you say, your sweat, okay? You're sweating, you're going to the loo, all those things are detoxing. But they are very, very minute compared to how we detox through our breath. We detox 70% through our breath. 70%.
Wow.
So you can imagine.
And like that's that windmill that you're telling me, like the breath works to funnel out. It's a continuous sort of stream of energy that just, but if you're breathing correctly, right? Then
yes,
it can be.
Breathing correctly, because especially in a breath work, when you're breathing a continuous connected breath, like my favorite example is a windmill, which just goes on and on and on. People think if you're doing a breath work, you are getting into more oxygen in your body. Yes, definitely the oxygen is more. But oxygen doesn't do all these things. It doesn't touch your emotions. It doesn't touch your mind. It gives you nourishment, oxygen. But when you breathe in that manner, maybe say about 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes down the thing, you start creating energy the way the windmill creates. And then you start breathing energy along with air and oxygen.
So energy comes in.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have 72,000 energy channels in our body.
Really? That many?
Yeah. 72,000 energy channels. Like we all know meridians from the acupuncture, acupressure. These are similar energy channels, 72,000. So you have 36 here, 36 here. So when you're pushing in that energy, breathing in the energy, they open up those blockages in those energy channels. And when things are being released and open up in the energy channels, no pain, no gain. So there has to be some pain and indicating you that, I am going, leaving your body.
We can talk a little bit about my session. You know, when I had a lot of energy coming through my arms and my wrist, you had a signal about what that had meant.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you could share with us some of the things that are connected to our bodies.
Yeah. See, what happens is, I'll tell you that our physical body, our mind issues show up on our physical body during a breathwork session. So if you're releasing certain things, your physical body will show it. You experience it in your body as pain, tingling, numbness, heaviness. Sometimes you feel you cannot lift up your arm or your leg. It's like that. So, see, when we are born, I think even a normal delivery is a trauma for the baby.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah, it's very sudden.
Yes, even a normal delivery. So you can imagine whether it's a cesarean or say cord round the neck, those things. Those are complicated deliveries. But even in a normal delivery, a baby coming out from something which is the best in the world, and then you come out to something which gives you a bit of shock. And the doctor takes care to the extent that they have to keep the baby alive, right? Since I've been in the labor room so many times myself, our first priority is to keep the baby up alive. So we do everything for that. And we cut the cord. Or maybe requiring some oxygen, we put some tube here, tube there. Little realizing what trauma the baby is going through with all that. So we want the baby to cry. That everybody, I think, in the world knows. So either you give one on the back. So the first cry always of a baby is out of fear and pain, no? But till the baby cries, the doctor is not going to let go.
Right.
So that trauma, and then the baby grows up. And then while growing up, you have something called the parental disapproval trauma. Don't do this, don't do that.
Oh, wow.
So they all go there into the subconscious. They go into your energy system. We feel we have let it go, but no, they don't go. Where do they go? How do you release them? And in this manner, the traumas, after that we have school trauma.
Yeah.
Then we have other traumas like religious traumas. So they carry on. We have 9 of them like that. Huge fellows. They are huge fellows, biggies. And breathwork, if one does certain number of breathwork sessions, which also include the elements, maybe in the water or near the fire, we can release so many of them. And especially what you were releasing with your hands was birth trauma.
Oh. Yes, I do remember you said, you're like, that's she's like, did you have a traumatic birth? And I was like, yeah, I had a C-section and they were trying to turn me. They were trying to turn me and I wouldn't turn. And then you told me, you're like, okay, that's what you were releasing in that moment. Because in breathwork, you don't choose what you release.
You don't. And because you had so much of pain. You had so much of pain. And what happens is, as a therapist, we feel a little satisfied naturally that you're releasing such a huge thing from your system. And how you're going to feel after the session is over later. We know that. But at that moment, because there is no way that we can release your pain. You have to continue breathing and release the pain yourself.
Yeah.
We are there to guide you.
And I was very surprised at how all I was doing was breathing a certain way. You know, you weren't saying anything. You weren't giving me crystals or telling me to drink something. It was just all breath. And
yes.
As 5 minutes in to me breathing a certain way, I could already feel, the tingles and like something was happening. And right afterwards, I was tired, of course. But yes. Throughout the months, I noticed my confidence was increasing, that I felt more sure of myself, which it was a big thing. Like being self-assured was such a huge deal for me because I had spent a lot of my life not feeling very sure of myself. And I could tell that a lot was being released in that moment. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but of course, you tell me just keep breathing. Just keep breathing.
Keep breathing.
Yes.
You had a wonderful session, yes.
Yeah, and you told me that you told some other people about it.
Yes, I shared it with my mentor.
Yes.
I said when I saw her birth trauma in the hands, I asked her if she did have a birth trauma. And she said she had C-section.
Yes, that was, and I didn't even know that was a trauma until you told me. And you said what you just said now was that it's a very traumatic experience for a baby, which is, why people like to do like water births or stuff, because it's so sudden. It's like you're in this comfortable spot and then you're not.
Yeah.
Just,
yes.
boom.
Yes.
Yeah. And like you said, the patting on the back and like they want you to cry, they want you to show life.
Tubes in.
Yeah,
tubes.
Put the tubes in. They're rubbing you off and you're just like, what's going on? And that trauma.
And they take you away from your mother, and you want to be with your mother. The mother wants the baby, baby wants the mother. And as soon as baby is born, especially if you need oxygen or you need something else, they separate the baby and put him in the crib. So the poor baby is feeling like abandoned. Oh, because the baby recognizes only the mother, right? Mother's energy. So that's big trauma.
We talked a little bit about my session, but what could someone expect, when they do decide to, do breath work and they find a practitioner?
Breath is always powerful for healing. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. Okay? But if you ask me, I think everyone needs breath work because being a human being, we do go through traumas. And the best part is the way you came, that was the best. Your friend brought you to my place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the best part was you knew nothing about it. She never told you anything about breath work.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
That's why you could surrender. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you could surrender. Mm. But you come with an expectation. Now that I'm talking birth trauma, this, that, those who may be listening to me or listening to your experience, they will have a different experience because they may have something else to release. They may have anger to release. They may have some issues with maybe the parents, the mother, the father, or they may be carrying a whole load of baggage on their back, expectations. So each has their own things to release from their life. Nothing is standard over there. Plus, like you released birth trauma. One session, I wouldn't say releases all the birth trauma. In your case, you released quite a bit. In some cases, they just have a heaviness or a tingling numbness in their hands. They may, or some people, my own case, I never had anything in my hands. I think later on, quite a few years later, when my mentor took me through as a demo piece, I was a demo. I don't know what his energies worked on me. Within 10 minutes, I was off it with my hands like that. I couldn't even open them for maybe an hour. Wow. I said, wow, I'm releasing my birth trauma now.
Years later.
Years later. See, it's also the therapist's energies and the client energies. Because both are like in a capsule during that session. And the client, my main aim when I give a session is that the client should have faith, trust, confidence in me. Completely, that she'll take care of me, whatever happens. That is the space we give. Because the other disturbances are not nice at that time.
I know
you feel safe.
For myself, I had complete trust in you. And I went in with no expectation. I didn't know what to expect, what I'd be doing, what would happen. And I did have a lot of surrender because I didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I was able to release so much. I just trusted. And you said, hey, just keep breathing, just keep going. And that's what I did. I was like, I trust you. And I also had the belief of, to get through it. Because, then when there was that pain, it was like I have to get through it, to get over it.
Yeah.
So when you said just keep breathing to push through, it's like, we're going to push through. And I think that's when the screaming kind of started. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm going to push through this and release what I need to release.
See, quite often some emotions do come up during a session. And that's the time that you just let go. Many people cry during a session. I say good thing because crying is also kind of a detox. You're just releasing things. Sometimes they tell you, I don't know why I cried, but I shed tears. And some of them keep sobbing. But I don't let them break that breathing thing because Sometimes they just disconnect from the breath. If they go on crying, no, they disconnect. So that is the time that we have to take care that they don't disconnect from their breath. Okay, cry 10 seconds, 20 seconds, but come back, breathe. Breathe. In that, breathe even in the tears, you breathe. We ask them to breathe and pick up the breath then. So there is no disconnection between. Once you disconnect, to get back to the breath cycle is a bit tough, very tough to get them back. So I don't let them cry too much. But once the session is over, cry as much as you want.
Yeah. Now that you've done the releasing, now you can go.
It's like, but it's a very intense process, very intense. If done correctly and breathing correctly, which I appreciate in you. I take you as an example for people. I said she just came without any information on, she had no knowledge about breathwork. She was not even briefed what happens. She came absolutely with full faith, trust, and surrender. I said surrender is the word.
But I definitely see, I know I told everyone about my experience. Probably not everything, because I didn't want them to be too scared. And like you said, everyone's session is so different. Some people may not cry the first time. Some people might have a huge release. Some people will just cry at their first. It's very different, and you can't choose what's being released. But I told them, afterwards, I would say like maybe a month or two, I felt so, I felt just enlightened, like you said, like a better quality of life. It wasn't anything super physical, but more so emotional. And having that stored energy that I didn't even know was there and impacting my life was now gone. And that was another thing you said. It's like, once it's gone, it's gone.
Gone.
You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Worry about it.
It doesn't come back.
One more change. There's one more change, which I would say, because people would ask me, what keeps you going? So I tell them the first retreat that I attended, after that, my attitude to life changed. And it has remained like that. Because we are so conditioned in life, right? Especially once you reach 65, 60, you definitely get conditioned in life, which many people don't like to change. So the attitude to certain things remains the same for a long time. But when you get your breath going, changing your attitude to life changes your life, the whole quality of life. You see things new. Everything looks new.
It really, but the mind is so powerful to where that change makes a huge difference. Even when we talk about concepts like manifesting, or you got to see it, you got to believe it to be true, or you have to have this positive energy, this aura to attract things into your life as well.
Yes, true.
That mindset change that happens after breath work actually is much deeper for someone. It could really change their entire life.
Nice.
Now they're attracting better experiences and better things, and they're going about like that aura can be like a magnet as well.
Absolutely.
Now you can just go about things in a different way and live the life that you want.
You normally now go with the flow because the flow is good.
And I'm someone, I thrive at going with the flow. So it was really beneficial for me.
Only one session you've taken, Stori, and this is your story.
Just the one. I told Sri, I was like, when I get back, I'll have to do another session and then start to incorporate the elements as well. Because there's so much, like you said, there's so many years also of trauma that you have to continuously release them.
Because every element also is related to every chakra. Everybody knows chakras are there. So when you're doing the breath work, that particular element, when you connect with it, So whatever emotions, whatever the mind is related to that chakra, you start letting go. You have a water element. When you do a water element, it deals a lot with your emotions. Water is emotions. And it also deals with your relationships. And also, if you want to receive something in life, do the water element. If you want to leave something, you go for the fire element. I mean, we all have those things worked out. But usually it's good to do air element, water element, and fire. They really cover up a lot of issues in life.
Right. So we talked about the power of our breath and how it can help us to improve our quality of life. In the same vein of talking about how our body keeps a score, breathwork can be used as this windmill of energy to get that stuck, stored traumatic experiences, energy out, and allow us to just engage with life in a better way, in a way that can seem small, but can actually lead to very larger benefits in our life. And talking about you and yourself and how breathwork has helped you in those events of helping your own quality of life, even as a doctor, medical doctor, feeling that breathwork was like the key almost.
It heals.
The missing piece to your healing.
Yes.
Which I think is amazing.
Yeah. And actually, see, breathwork is something which comes into your life only when you're ready for it. Energetically ready. People may struggle and want to come to this workshop, that workshop. It doesn't happen unless, like they say, the system, the energy system is ready to receive it. Because it's actually quite divine also. So there's a lot of connection between the cosmic energy, our energies with the breath work, all that. We are taking in that energy, right, when we do a breath work. So I feel that here, the other thing is when you do breath work, your meditation also improves. So it definitely jumps. Because firstly, this has gone for a little rest, right? Easier to meditate, and you have cleansed inside, and you're kind of leading a holistic life. What do you say? Complete life. From your emotional point of view, whole, WHOLE type of holistic life. And your emotions, your attitude, your energies, they have all changed for the better. For really the quality really gets enhanced. And some amount of, when you say cosmic energy, divine energy, somewhere we are always spiritual in some manner or the other, all of us. Connected. We are connected, like you and me are connected. When you came for a breathwork session, the connection took place.
It's funny because I do believe that healing happens when you're ready. A lot of people who go to therapy or decide to, do like shadow work, it really doesn't hit until you're open.
Yes.
You're ready for it. And I always tell people, don't even. I understand that it might be popular to heal, but not to force it. Just let there be a catalyst that can take you into that, because that's when you know that you're open to the healing.
You have to be open to it too. Catalyst is a good word. Yeah.
My whole life
Trigger.
I've been a catalyst. My whole life I'm like, I've had so many moments where it's been like a night and day thing. Like one day I'm in this state of mind, I'm in this situation, I'm in this feeling, and the next day something happens and it's like a switch.
Trigger.
Yeah. So I believe in the catalyst. I am the catalyst.
Yes.
So
breathwork is quite a trigger. It's quite a trigger.
Oh yeah. And I do believe in that moment, I was energetically
Yes.
ready
Yes.
to meet you and to have that experience.
Yeah. And what can one do? Like I told you, just doing that continuous breath. Okay. But there is also a takeaway, because breath work is a very intense session and usually lasts, breathing is about say 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes. And breath work cannot be taken online. So there should be something which one can take away, right?
So outside of breath work and doing a breath work session, are there other ways? Because we'll talk about the 40 CCB, which I've been practicing. Are there other ways that we can incorporate, breathing correctly in our daily lives? And what could we do?
For what you should do in your daily life?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. If there's any ways, because if, between the breathwork sessions, should I be also practicing other breath techniques?
I mean, we speak so much about breath work, what it can do to you. But unless one experiences a breath work, I can talk any amount. One experience and whatever I talk makes sense. Okay? So there we can have a takeaway also, which is quite powerful, dealing with the breath. And that can be taken online and also practiced every day by oneself. This is called a 40 CCB, Charlie Bravo, 40 CCB. So 40 CCB stands for continuous, connected or continuous conscious breaths. And you have 40 of them, 40 breaths. So what happens in this 40 breaths is one round of it just takes about 50 seconds. And they are in sets. The 40 breaths are divided into sets. Each set is like 5 breaths. So that means 8 sets you do. Out of these 5 breaths, the first 4 are short. And the 5th one is a long one. Long one, when I say long inhale. So the 5th, the 10th, 15th, 20th, so on and so forth till 40th is a long breath. So this is called 40 CCB, and it's fantastic to practice. Fantastic. It doesn't take much time. And there are 3 rounds to it. I told you one round takes 45 seconds to 50 seconds. And between the first and the second, we give a break of almost 30 seconds. We can give a minute also, 30 seconds. Then you do the next 40. Then again 30 seconds. Then the next 40. And then keep your eyes closed and just be with yourself. Observing your thoughts, observing your breath, and observing the changes happening inside you, the feeling, whatever is happening. And then whenever one is ready, one can come up.
So, would you like to demonstrate?
Yes, because I'm talking so much about breath. People who are listening to the video, watching the video, should know that they can do something about it, right? And these 3 rounds, I call them a micro-mini breath work, because it is very powerful. It centers you and it gives you a lot of self-confidence. Yeah, you want to do something, you do these breaths and go and stand at the podium and give your whatever subject you want to talk on. It gives a lot of self-confidence and it brings you to the present, to the now, the power of now. Yeah, so I just keep my clock ready for that. So I'll demo about say 20 breaths.
Okay.
And then I will take you through the whole session. It'll be nice because, yeah?
Yes, that works perfectly.
Then I say 3, 2, 1 to myself, and it's like this. 3, 2, 1. So here again, there is no gap between the inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale. And as soon as you finish the fifth one, the long one, the next inhale has to be picked up. You breathe in long, let go and pick up. Okay? So we usually have a little tendency to give a gap there. Close your eyes and observe your breath. Just you're a witness to your breath. That's it. Going in, coming out normally. And when I say 3, 2, 1, you will start your continuous connected breath, 40 CCB, wherein your first 4 breaths will be short. The fifth one is long. Every fifth one will be long. 3, 2, 1, and start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, breathe, 10, 11, 12, yes, 13, 14, a long, 15, pick up 16, 17, 18, 19, a long, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, good, pick it up, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, a long 35 and 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So bring your breath back to normal. Keep your eyes closed. If you wish, you can focus your eyes to the middle of your eyebrows. Very good. Three, 2, 1, and start the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, a long, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a long, 10, 11, good, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, a long, 20, 21, 22, good, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, a 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Calm your breath, calm your mind. Yes, just observe your breath. That's it. Be with it. That's all. Be with it. Excellent. Just be there. Whatever you're feeling, feel it. It's a very good thing. Excellent. Because energies are working. Very nice. Three, 2, 1, and start again. 1, yes, 2, 3, 4, a long 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a long 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pick it up. 21, 22, good. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, a long 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, last 36, 37, 38, nice, 39, 40. Bring your breath to normal. Calm down your breath. Observe your breath now. You're a witness to your breath. You're a witness to your thoughts. And any sensations in your body. Excellent. It is wonderful. Wow. The calmness on your face. Beautiful. And whenever you feel like, you can rub your hands, place them over your eyes. You can slowly open your eyes. I know you don't feel like doing it. Wow, it's a profound experience.
And it's one of the reasons I wanted to show people the 40 CCB. I feel like this is just a very simple way to incorporate breathing, continuous breath in your life and get those benefits of how breath could just be such a impactful experience daily.
Very good.
Well,
excellent.
I feel great. I don't know about you all. If you did it with me, I feel phenomenal. Dr. Hemlata, I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. And she told us her secret. So what's your secret?
My secret is my age. I'm 75 and a half. Yeah. 75.
And a half.
Ah. And I go to that mountain which is behind me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That is Mount
75.
Kailash.
All the way up
yeah.
on the mountain.
I went at 70. That was the last age they allow people to go there.
Really?
Yeah.
They have an age limit.
Yes. Because it is 18,000 feet. 18,000.
I didn't know
That's
that.
a lot. And it's a very pious mountain, no? Mount Kailash, for a lot of Buddhists and Hindus and Tibetans and all. So we went there as a pilgrimage. It was a pilgrimage. And just thanks to my mentor, I could do it at 70. That's superb.
That is amazing. The power. Again, the power of breathwork, everyone.
Power of breath. Yes.
Power of breath.
Very true.
If they want to know the secret, they have to come here and then
Yes.
I've learned so much now. I thought I learned so much in our first session, but I've learned so much now, and I really do hope that the audience...
Your breath holds everything about you. It's your complete matrix. So there's a lot to learn there. Yeah.
I always tell people, you don't need crystals, you don't need herbs.
Yeah, you don't need.
You need your breath.
Yeah, you don't really need anything, what would you say, any support system or any tool or anything. Your breath is your tool. What more do you want? And it is with you 24/7.
And that's profound. So I'll have somewhere where people can connect with you. You dropped your website. I'll include all of that in our description so they can learn more about you and just connect with you. And
lovely.
So one more question for you. You've just taught us all about the power of breath. How does that make you feel?
Oh, my passion in life is to teach breathwork. That's it. I've left everything else. I don't do anything else. I only do breathwork. That has become my passion.
Thank you for sharing your passion with us. I really enjoyed this. And if you want to connect with Dr. Hemlata, like I said, her website will be in the descriptions. Please do reach out. She's a wonderful person.
Yes. And if anybody wants to connect up, no problem. You're there. I also would like to add that I'm a part of a foundation whose founder is my mentor, Mr. Mahesh. He's my mentor, and I'm a trustee with the foundation. And we have workshops. So we usually conduct workshops, the retreats we conduct basically with the 5 elements and train people how to give sessions. We have it in May and we have it in either end of September or early October, twice a year. So one can always connect up, and whenever we have this thing, flyer or whatever we have, I'll post it to you. Because we've had people coming in from Europe, coming in from US, coming in from other countries to attend the retreats. So anybody's interested, you do that. Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yes, that would be lovely. You are a breather. Yeah, you are a breather. Actually, when I gave you that session, I was so happy. I was so happy. I said, oh my God, this is breathing.
At least I could do something good. I can breathe right.
You can breathe right. So it was wonderful, really wonderful, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much for having me on this thing. Oh, wow.
Yes. Thank you so much for staying up for this.
Thank you, Stori.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll let you go rest. All right. Bye,
Thank
doctor.
you. God bless. God bless. Take care.